Hey, what up? This your boy Roy Jones Jr. live here on my Facebook page. Something that I don't often do, but I got a special guest here today, Ron Oliver, who's a health and mental coach, and he's been helping me do a lot of good things in my life, helping me to prosper and live life as a retired athlete better than I lived it as an active athlete. So to be able to get yourself back to that level says a lot, and for him to be able to come in and help me resurrect my body to some degree has been really phenomenal. And I'm really here just to kind of share with you guys some of the things we do, some of the things we have done, and I want to put y'all up on this new thing called Neutronics Labs. And without further ado, the best person that could explain it all to you because he explained it to me, broke it down to me, and made me fully understand it, which is now why I'm on the products, loving the products, feeling more vitalized these days than normal. Uh, Ron Oliver.
Thank you, Roy. It's a pleasure to be here with you. And I want to
Thank you.
say what a pleasure it is to be your friend, to be your coach, and growing up watching you fight, and then years later becoming your friend and working with you with what I love to do, which is health and fitness. It's been a complete honor and a complete blessing from God. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, for all of you listening right now, live, and you listening later to the recording, what you want to understand is that your health is number one. And we have not been taught how to be healthy in this modern world. Ancient man knew more about it than we do. We've been sold a whole bunch of garbage and a lot of nonsense that has made America the weakest nation in the world as far as our health. Canada's number two in the world for poor health, just like where I live. And what we want to talk to you today about is your hormones. Getting your hormones in balance, getting your hormones at the optimal levels is going to impact your energy, your moods, and your ability to perform as men and women beyond anything else. And Neutronics Labs, if you go to Neutronics Labs right now, just go to neutronicslabs.com and you can check it out while we're talking with you and look at what this company's doing. And for a big discount, hang in there because we're going to give you a code so you can get a discount today, up to 60% on your first order. And it was about 6 months ago, I was looking into, as I always am, looking for the next thing to give me the edge. But I'm only going to do what's natural. And right now, we have a testosterone crisis in America. Right now, in the history of mankind, Americans and Canadians have the lowest testosterone in the history of mankind. It's never been lower than it is right now. Most men are at half the testosterone level they should be. Some is down to a third and a quarter of the level it should be. And this is a
Let me chime
huge problem.
let me chime in. Hence, why you see all the ED commercials, all the erectile dysfunction drugs, why you see
Absolutely.
all the things everywhere because testosterone is at an all-time low in this country and in Canada, from what Ron says. But I know it is in this country because I've been dealing with it myself for at least 10 years. So I know what he's speaking is factual. I know a lot of it comes from different things that we eat, different things that are in the foods and the waters that we eat and drink. It's about
Absolutely.
most of it's about our consumption. That's what has got our testosterone to decrease so much in the last 20 years. But go ahead,
Absolutely.
I just want to say that part, Ron.
Absolutely. And what men are feeling, but we're not talking about. Men are feeling depressed. They have a loss of energy, a loss of libido. They're losing lean muscle mass. A lot of men are getting man boobs. You know, it's not good. They're losing their ability to feel good about themselves, be confident as a man to protect and provide for their families. And when you have low testosterone, it is a huge health crisis. It's been proven to increase mortality by 88%. It increase your chances of cancer, diabetes, heart disease. It's a big, big problem that you don't want to be dealing with. And with women, when their testosterone levels are too high, it makes them aggressive. If their estrogen levels are too low, it makes them moody. It makes them having problems with PMS and menopause. So, both in men and women, it's a big problem. So, there's a company called Neutronics Labs. They're the first ones to bring this to North America. There's a 3,000-year-old history with the Chinese, the Koreans, and the Japanese using antler velvet, which is the marrow from the antlers on, on a deer. And in New Zealand, there's a massive ranch where they have the New Zealand red deer, and they're huge deer. They're averaging like 500 pounds. and they grow a tremendously large rack. This antler rack is massive. They grow a new one every year, and that giant rack, if you Google New Zealand red deers, you'll see these monsters, and they grow this massive rack in just 90 days. It's really miraculous. And inside the antler, what they do is they take the tips off. It's basically like a haircut. And then they vacuum out all these ingredients that are making this growth possible. All the growth factors, IGF-1, IGF-2, amino acids, essential fatty acids, minerals, tons of minerals, even anti-inflammatories and nootropics are found in this marrow from the antler. It's vacuumed out, it's cold pressed, so it doesn't denature these incredible ingredients, which are in the perfect matrix for this extremely fast, rapid growth of the antler on these deer. And then it's freeze dried, which preserves the nutrients and the value of these things to 98%. Okay. And now we have also evidence of 98% absorption. So, what this product is doing, there's a product called Man's Edge that we're using. Roy and I both. This is for men, obviously. There's a woman's formula for the women. My wife's using that. And for the Man's Edge, for men that want better circulation, they want to have more libido, and they want to put that lean muscle mass back on or maintain it. And they don't want to be using synthetics, which is what most people are doing these days. You know, TRT sounds nice, testosterone replacement therapy. But I got news for you. If you go Google the side effects of that, you're not going to be thinking it's therapy anymore because there's a long list of terrible side effects. And at the end of the day, it's doing you harm. It's not the solution you want. What you want to do is boost your testosterone naturally. And this is the way to do it. And on top of low testosterone in men and an imbalance in women, it's the IGF-1. Now, you know about IGF-1 now, right, Roy?
Yeah, and I was going to explain that too. And I was going to say two things. Number one, we're not telling you that you got to go do this. You do it how you want to do it. You do
Yeah,
whatever's suitable for you. Well, for me, I'm the kind of person that I'd rather have natural God-given products that I'll try to work with than something that they make
absolutely.
up in a lab because it's probably going to be side effects to things that they make in a lab, but it's not side effects to many things that God makes. And Ron is my guinea pig. Ron already took as much as you possibly could take of it, and he knows that you can't OD. You
Yeah,
understand me? So if
absolutely.
it's natural, it's very hard to OD on it. So that's another beautiful thing that I like about it. But the beautiful thing I also found out is that a lot of people take human growth hormone. That's been one of the best things lately for people's growth or reproduction or even to heal. They take human growth hormone. Well, I found out that not necessarily the human growth hormone, it's the IGF that the body turns the human growth hormone into that
Yes,
does all of these things. Well, these antlers, we have an IGF formula that comes directly from the antler that your body don't need the human growth hormone. We give you the direct IGF, which is what your body turns human growth hormone into. So you can explain that a little better, Ryan.
absolutely. So everybody knows this, that the ovaries in a woman produce estrogen, right? And the testicles on a man produce testosterone. Now, in all men, women, and children, and all mammals, in the brain, in the pituitary, the body makes growth hormone. But everybody thinks that that's what makes us grow so fast as children. But not directly is that how it works. What happens is your body converts human growth hormone in your liver to IGF-1. And that's actually what makes us grow so fast. And it's 10 times more powerful than growth hormone itself. And in the antler velvet, we're getting the most powerful and concentrated bioavailable form of IGF-1, which is tremendous for building muscle, helping with testosterone production as well, and recovery from workouts, and for impacting your moods and your energy. And it's also been proven to be an anti-aging ingredient, as well as the IGF-2, which is great for cognitive function, brain function. And it's legitimately an anti-aging product. So, you know, anytime today, whenever you have time, go to neutronicslabs.com and investigate this. At the end, we're going to give you a code so you can get a huge discount.
And
And
once
what I
again, I'm
can
gonna tell
tell you,
you, and once again, I'm gonna tell you that it's natural. It's not
100%
something made up in
natural.
the lab. It's natural.
Now, there's a lot of products out there, guys, you can use, and ladies. Okay, there's all kinds of supplements out there. There's countless companies. There's many companies that produce products to help women and men with their hormones or performance in the gym. And as a trainer of health and fitness for 35 years, I can tell you there is nothing on earth that compares to what Neutronics Labs has made. And I'll tell you why. Because it's all about purity, potency, and bioavailability. And of course, we're talking about all natural. When you consume a beverage or food or supplements and you put them down your throat, what happens is you lose bioavailability based upon your body's efficiency to absorb nutrients. So basically, most supplements have very poor absorption, even if they're a good product, because today, because of all the toxicity and poor nutrition and toxic beverages and water, most people, if not everyone, is quite toxic. So there's very poor absorption. But with Neutronics Labs, they have a very brilliant patented delivery system called liposome delivery system. And so you take these drops, put them under your tongue, and it goes into your bloodstream directly, bypasses your whole digestive system, and it's up to 98% absorption, which is unheard of. So I've been
And
on
what
these products for 4.5 months. How long you been on them, Roy?
I've been on about 2.5 months. And what the other thing that's crazy and the thing that shocked me most about the product is the fact that most products we buy from the store are in capsule form. But if you take a capsule, it goes
Yep.
down to your bottom to your stomach, it goes through your digestive system, and you lose 80 to 90% of all the real nutrients involved in it, right? Am I
Yes,
right, Ryan? So
absolutely.
when you take this under your tongue, you lose nothing. You get everything right away because it
Absolutely.
passes the digestive system. That's what the big thing to me was. So yeah, you can go ahead and finish again.
It works like nothing I've ever used in my life. And you want to understand something. Roy already knows this about me, but I'm a fanatic about my health. I'm
Total,
hardcore. And
total.
I'm pretty much, most people would say it's too intense, but for me, this is what I love. It's just what I do. I love health and fitness. I love what I do. And to have great men in my life like Roy Jones Jr. as a client, you got to walk the walk. You can't do this half-assed. You have to go all in. So I'm a completely devoted guy.
And part of why I like him is because he's exactly about health and fitness as I am about boxing. I go all in about boxing. I don't want to see no mistakes. I don't want to see do. I want you to do it until you get it down pat so you can do it in your sleep. This is exactly how Ron approaches health and mental fitness, and that's why I love dealing with Ron.
Absolutely. Like for me, when I want to try a product, the first thing I do is I do my research, right? But I'm not going to just settle for just research. I got to talk to the formulator, the chief science officer, and the owner of the company. Because just because the label looks good does not mean it's a good product, guys. There's many places you can source ingredients. Okay, so a lot of the antler velvet products out there are getting their ingredients from China and it's cheap. They're getting the whole antler, getting the marrow out of it, and you can buy that stuff very inexpensively. But when you're buying, for example, protein powder, everybody's seen New Zealand whey protein powder, right? It costs about 10 times as much as regular whey from North America from an average farm. Okay, so when you're talking about New Zealand antler velvet, it's the most expensive in the world. It's also the purest and it's the most potent. So I'm going to show you real quickly what we're doing, so you guys can all see exactly what Roy and I are doing. We're using the Man's Edge right here. Just go to neutronicslabs.com. You can check this out. This product is second to none. In fact, I have a new client that just started yesterday. And now this is not going to be for everyone as far as these fast results. For me, I felt it my first dose. Most people are going to take a few days to feel it. I felt it from my first dose. My client did yesterday. This is exactly what happened. He got his product. He was all excited. He called me up and I said, okay, this is how I want you to take it. So I had him put the drops under his tongue. Then I had him take the IGF-1, 300,000 nanograms. He took that as well, right after the Man's Edge. And then he took the 600,000 nanograms, which gives us 900,000 nanograms of IGF-1, which is a phenomenally powerful dose. And right before he took it, this is a true story, he did 25 push-ups because he does this every day. He's one of those guys, he does push-ups every day, right? Chin-ups every day, burpees every day. He's just totally into fitness. He used to be a really overweight guy. He started using these products just yesterday, okay? Now he knows what it feels like to do 25 push-ups. He can do it pretty easily. He did a set. He took the products. 5 minutes later, he said, I'm going to do another set. I want to see if I have more energy. I said, you will, because it went straight into your bloodstream. And he's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. So he drops down. While we're on the phone, he banged off 50 push-ups, as easy as it is for him to do 25. That's how fast. First dose. Okay, when you consume things, it takes a long time for your body to absorb, but when you put it directly in your bloodstream, it's immediate. It's seconds. So it is like nothing I've ever heard of before. I've never seen anything this potent. And do you really think if I'm spending my life doing health and fitness, I'm a huge boxing fan, I get the pleasure of becoming Roy Jones Jr.'s coach. He becomes my friend. You really think I'm going to sell him some junk? Guys, come on. I'm not stupid, right?
I'm not gonna go for it because I'm gonna try it myself first to see if it works before I ever tell anybody anything about it.
Absolutely.
And I know for a fact it works because, like I said, I know what I do normally out of just not doing nothing. For me, when I first come back to get on the elliptical or something, it takes me a while to build myself back up to 10 minutes. After taking these products, I come and I start at the 15-minute mark. I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. I can start at 15 minutes and start pretty at a pretty decent speed at 15 minutes. Usually I have to start at 5 and work my way up to 15 minutes. With the Nutronics Labs, with the Man's Edge and the IGF 3, 2, I mean, I can now come in and go start out at 15 and go up daily from there. So it's crazy, but it is factual. It works.
Absolutely. That's why, for the first time in my life, I became the brand ambassador of a company for Neutronics Labs, and so did Roy. And I have never been the brand ambassador of a company before. I've had opportunities to be that many, many times in my industry of 35 years. Roy's had countless opportunities to do the same thing for numerous companies, gets approached all the time. But, the one thing you can't mess with in this world is your name. Your name is all you have, right? That's all you have. Your word is your word. And if you're going to keep a good name, Roy's built himself a name. In fact, he's a brand. Nobody's done what he's done in boxing. Everybody knows it who's a fan. And so do you think that Roy and I are going to put our name beside something just to make a few dollars? Absolutely not.
Not
The
at
reason
all.
why we're here live right now on Boxing Day is because we know for a fact it's going to change your lives like it did mine. I'm 58 years old, guys, okay? I've been in this business a long time, and I can promise you this will change your life. And if it doesn't, you get your money back. You got nothing to lose. So what I recommend you do, go to Neutronics Labs, actually educate yourself. If you're analytical, go to the science page and actually do your research on IGF-1, do your research on the Man's Edge, do your research on these three products, the Man's Edge and the 300,000 nanograms of IGF-1 and the Long Jack and then the 600,000, and do your research. Also, for you people out there suffering from sleep deprivation, you're not getting enough sleep, you're trouble sleeping, this product here called Sleep Miracle changed my life. I've never had really an issue with sleep because I have a great life. I love my life. But recently, my wife and I had a baby, and he's now 6 months. In fact, he was 6 months old yesterday. And he's been cutting into our sleep, if you all know what I mean with babies, right? And this has been helping me get a much deeper sleep. It's all natural, of course, or I wouldn't put it in my body. Roy knows that about me.
Without a
And it
question.
has helped me sleep way deeper than before. I wake up more rested. There's nothing in it that's a drug. It's all natural. There's no drugs in these products. They're all steroid free, okay? But they'll give you results like TRT only with no side effects. And they won't cause your testicles to shrink, guys, like steroids do for everyone, okay? So you really got to check this out. And if you want to get the great deal that we talked about earlier, why don't you give them your code, Roy?
Yeah, you can tell someone you know it better than me, but I know it's Roy Jones Jr. slash what is it? You tell them.
Yeah, just Neutronics Labs, then put in the code Roy Jones Jr. That's
There it
going to give you
is.
10% off. And if you go on the auto ship, which I did, you'll get an additional 50% off. So you're going to get 60% off your first dose. And I recommend that you all do at least a 90-day dose of these products because they will change your life in that period of time. You will feel it in a few days, and you'll know right away. And within 3 months, you're going to feel much younger. You're going to have way more strength, way more energy. You're going to have more mental clarity. Guys, it's going to change your lives. We're so excited to share this with you because in my business, I specialize in anti-aging. I've been researching anti-aging for 30 years, people. I was mentored by a biochemist, a doctor, and a chemist, and they taught me the secrets to becoming healthy. And Roy can tell you, guys, I haven't been sick for 30 years. That's the truth. My oldest son is 27. He hasn't been sick for 25 years. And Roy knows some of my clients. That's how I ended up meeting Roy. I had the privilege
Yep.
of meeting Roy a few years ago because of another boxer I was working with who came to me and his health was completely destroyed. In fact, four doctors said he was going to die and not live to see Christmas. And that was December 6th, 2023. Roy knows the story. So
Yep.
Roy's not bringing me here to sell you something. We're here to inform you of how to get your edge back. And it's testosterone that makes men men. And this whole story of toxic masculinity, what do you think about that, Roy?
It's crazy. It's crazy. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't bring something that I don't believe in. And I'm not gonna bring you
100%.
nothing until I try it. You understand me?
Absolutely.
I have tried, I'm still with it because I don't stick to nothing much. I'm sticking to it. And to give you a perfect example, Ron is 58 years old with a 6-month-old baby. What that tell you? What that tell you? 58
Absolutely.
years old with a six, not many 58-year-olds can do that today in today's time, especially with the way that our food is done with the all the chemicals and stuff involved in the food. Not many men can do that. Women fertility is down, men testosterone are down. Everything is down. This product will bring you back up. Last but not least, I just want to share that with everybody because, like I said, I wouldn't bring nothing to you guys that I have not tried myself. I'll give it the money. Try it first. If you don't like it, they'll give you your money back. They're not tripping about that. The guys at New Challenge Labs are some of the best people you're ever gonna meet. If it don't work for you, they're giving you your money back. If you're
100%.
smart, you can hit Ron on social media. Ron will tell you how much you weigh, how much you need to in your dosage because it varies from different people. Took me a little while longer because I was on too less of a dose at first. I took a little bit higher dose and I started feeling the results. So whatever you do, tune in. Go check it out. Put the code behind it. If you don't want to put the code, it don't matter. You only have to put the code behind it. I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about you. So check it out. See how you like it, and let us know from there.
Absolutely. Now, when it comes to supplements, guys, what you got to know is the word supplement means adding to a pre existing base, right? So, what you're drinking and eating matters a lot, right? And in this modern world, we have seen the health of men and women just go down and down and down. The whole time I've been in the industry, that's all I've seen is Americans and Canadians get sicker and sicker and sicker and weaker and fatter, more depressed. And to put it into perspective for you, we got over 9 billion people on the planet. We got about 300 million in America. We got 40 million in Canada, right? Do the math. That's 420 million people out of the entire planet. And we are consuming 70% of the pharmaceutical drugs manufactured annually. We're taking more than 60% of all the opiates, antidepressants in the world. And we're only 420 million people. And it's got everything to do with the toxic water and the toxic beverages and the toxic food that is also void of most of the essential nutrients. So you're not going to get all the nutrients you need, even if you eat perfectly anymore, because the soil is contaminated and it's depleted. That's why I'm using these products, because without them, I cannot be at the top of my game. And I'm not interested, Roy, in aging gracefully. It sounds nice, but I don't want to age at all. And you can all Google this. Google the top anti-aging experts in the world, and they will tell you that aging is a disease. It was classified as a disease more than 15 years ago. Okay? And we don't want you getting old. You don't have to get old. And if you found yourself feeling old, this is going to give you back your edge, man. It's going to help you get that libido back up so you feel like a man again. And it's time for you to become a man again so you don't feel old anymore. You don't need to be old. You can become the strongest version of yourself. You can make the rest of your life become the best years of your life. And at the end of the day, right? What's the most important thing, Roy? Our lives. And what's the most valuable commodity? Our time.
Yep.
And if you're not having a good time, if you're feeling old and you're feeling weak, no man out there wants girly arms and low libido. Nobody.
I ain't gonna say no, man. Some men do, but if you
Maybe.
don't, if you don't
That's
want
true.
that,
That's
this is the
true.
product to not have it. If you do want that, That's cool too. We're not telling you that you need to do this,
Absolutely.
but if you don't want that, then this is the problem. But thank you guys for tuning in today. We really appreciate y'all. We God bless y'all. May God keep y'all. Thank you, Ron, for giving them all this
My pleasure.
informative information. And once again, tell them where they can go get it again.
Neutronics.labs.com. Put in the code Roy Jones Jr. And I want to say this is a veteran owned company. I know the owner myself. He's become a dear friend. He's a phenomenal
Yes.
human being. This is a family run business for 25 years. They're the ones that brought this antler velvet to North America. And if you want to become a man again, like masculine, like you were in your 20s, this is what you need to do. And
There it is.
at the end of the day, if you're even thinking about it, gentlemen, you need to
You
do
need
this
it.
for yourself. Do
You
this
better
for
believe.
yourself, your wife, and your kids. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me. You can go to my social media, Ron J. Oliver, and Facebook. I also have a website, elitedynamiclife.com. You can contact me there as well if you have any questions at all. Because you're a friend or a fan of Roy Jones Jr., I'll be happy to reach out. Just mention that you heard me and Roy talking on the live today. Reach out to me or Roy, and we'll be happy to speak to you, answer any questions you have so you can get all your questions answered. Again, neutronicslabs.com / Roy Jones Jr.
Thank you. God bless y'all.
Thank you so
Peace.
much.
By the head in the building.
Peace.
All right.